Good morning, everybody. This is take 3 of recording for Jewish adulting, and I am having some technical difficulties using the different platforms. So I'm trying to find the right platform that won't give me too much difficulty when I'm recording. So please be patient with me as I work through this little 21st century problem. So my name is Chedva Rose, and I wanted to address on this episode why me, why now, what is a Jewish adulting, and to tell you just a little bit more about me. So the reason that I've decided to do this podcast is because I have been encouraged by fellow colleagues, fellow friends, fellow family members who see that I have a gift to talking with people. I am one of those people, it's almost like a running joke in the family. If I go to a store, I'll learn the cashier's entire life story. If I'm in an elevator, people tell me things, and people like to bagel with me. If you don't know what bageling means, it's like when people approach you and try to determine if you're from the same tribe as them. And that might look like somebody saying like, "Oh, I really like your Star of David necklace. I have one just like it." Or it could be them saying Shabbat Shalom on a Tuesday. And then I know that they're from the tribe, and then we start to talk. And just, I like to talk to people. And so I think that this is a good opportunity for me. But really, the main reason I'm doing this is as sort of a journey for myself to learn and to grow. It's about being middle-aged and not wanting to lose the opportunity of hearing from people who have figured some part of adulting out, especially Jewish adulting. Now, what do I mean by Jewish adulting versus regular adulting? I've always heard of adulting, which is an informal term to describe the behavior that is seen as responsible and grown up. It involves often meeting mundane demands of independent and professional living, such as paying bills and running errands. I'm not sure where I pulled that definition from. But for me, Jewish adulting is not a challenge that I cannot handle or something that is like, woe is me. It's a gift and an honor and a privilege to be able to be a Jewish adult. And we actually have our bar and bat mitzvah, and we celebrate becoming adults. And there's a lot of talk about when I have to keep the mitzvos, when my parents are responsible for me, and that all leads to this sense of obligation that being an adult is. And I think that that's very different from the world at large, who's thinking of adulting as just mundane, difficulties. And I'm looking at this as an experience for growth and opportunity. So that's why I decided to name the podcast Jewish Adulting. So see if we could give a positive spin on the adulting aspect of our lives, in a way that's different to the current culture norms. Now, let me just tell you a little bit more about myself. Firstly, a disclaimer. I'm not a rabbi, and I do have a rabbi, and I do ask my rabbi a lot of questions. But a lot of the things that I know are kind of things that I've learned through the years, and I won't necessarily have a source for every single one. So don't I'm happy for people to send me the sources of the things that I'm saying. That's fine if that's something that you're into. If you are, I'll say like, oh, we believe X, Y, and Z, or I believe X, Y, and Z. And I'm speaking for myself and my own values and my own learning level, which is what it is. And if you want to correct me, that's fine. I'm open to it. You can email me at jewishadulting@gmail.com. If you want to give me a source, that's fine too. This is not a professional podcast in that I'm not a professional. I'm not an educator. I'm just somebody who likes to talk and talk with people and to learn and to grow. And so I'm going to make mistakes. This podcast is going to have some breaks and maybe repetition, or this is just really something that I'm doing for my own enjoyment, and I'm hoping for the betterment of anyone who's listening. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I live in Baltimore. I have 4 beautiful children. Also, I'm very into my therapy. I've been going to therapy straight for 15 years, ever since my mother became paralyzed and then subsequently died of COVID. I've been going to therapy and I found it immensely helpful. I'm going to be very open about my therapy because I feel like for stigma's sake, it's okay for you to hear me say that I go to therapy. You would not be surprised if you knew me that I go to therapy. You would look at my life and you would say, of course she's going to therapy. Um, Maybe some people could do it without therapy. Maybe they have enough skills that they learned in their childhood. I did not. So I grew up sort of modern Orthodox, and now I leaned more towards right yeshivish. That includes my politics. And but I don't need to shove it down anyone's throat, and I don't need to. That's really not the agenda of this podcast. The agenda of this podcast is just to speak openly about the joys and the sorrows and the gifts and the blessings of being a Jewish adult, especially in this day and age where being Jewish is so fraught with tension and with, wondering what's going to happen, where are we going to hold. The anti-Semitism is out of this world. Never in my time have I ever seen such anti-Semitism. Although many people who have experienced anti-Semitism, back during the war are not surprised at all. They actually say, of course, if it could happen in Germany, it could happen in America, and it could happen all over the world. But that's a topic for another time. My real goal for today was just to tell you a little bit more about me. I'm generally, I like to take things, I'm a little bit goofy, I'm a little bit fun, I'm very open, and I just really want to hear from you. If you have a question or you have a topic, you can email me at jewishadulting@gmail.com. And if you want to get advice on a particular topic, even if I don't have the answer, I will look for a professional who can give you that answer. So if you have a burning desire to ask a question, whether it be like, how do people have 12 kids? I have 2 and they're driving me nuts. Or, self-care, or whatever the topics may be. I already have some people lined up. I'm very excited. I'll be pushing those interviews coming soon as I work out my technical glitches. And this is really just a mini episode to tell you a little bit more about me. But my goal is to learn and grow from many different types of people, from, and hopefully we'll laugh together, we'll cry together, and we will grow together as a Jewish people. That is my wish for this podcast, and I hope you'll join me on my journey. Have a good day.